If you say these 3 words, all the women you want will come to you. Welcome to my channel, where we show you how to do things. This article explores the intricate aspects of love and relationships, offering practical advice that anyone can apply. You've come to the right place if you want to make better connections, meet the right people, and improve yourself. Let's get started. Have you ever felt like you were talking about women in a way that wasn't helpful? What if I told you that it only takes 3 simple words to completely change the way women see you? Yes, just 3 words. These words have the power to break through her defenses, capture her attention, and most importantly, make her feel an instant connection with you. Well, here's the thing. Most men make communication too hard. They believe that possessing the ideal pickup line, endless charm, or a grand romantic gesture is necessary to capture her attention. But what if I told you that these 3 words can change everything? After watching this video, you'll know what they are and how to use them naturally and game-changingly. When it comes to attraction, conversation is key. The words you use can either connect you with someone or keep them from understanding you. When men overthink and say things like, "You're so pretty," or "Let me tell you about all the cool things I've done," they come across as unoriginal, fake, or even like every other guy she's ever met. But here's something most men don't know. Words have power. They can spark emotional triggers that create attraction on a deeper level. It's not about being perfect, it's about being real. And the right word, spoken with the right intent, can spark her interest and make her feel seen in a way that no one else has. Imagine a woman telling you about her hopes and fears. Some men might say something like, "Wow, that's cool," or "I feel sorry for you." Worse, don't respond to what she said at all. Another man, on the other hand, might say, "That's really amazing. You've clearly put so much thought into that." Which one do you think she'll remember? This is where the magic happens. Lies, when you pick words that make her feel something, you make a link and give her a reason to want to talk to you again. And here's the best part. It's not necessary to learn a script or fancy phrases. All you need to know is how to use the right words at the right time. When you do this, you're not just talking, you're connecting. Let's delve deeper and discuss how these 3 straightforward words have the power to transform everything. What do you think those 3 words are? Write your guess below, and we'll check to see if you already know the answer. Men often make the following communication mistakes that kill attraction before it even starts. The worst part is that most men don't even realize they're doing it. Saying too much or oversharing. Imagine you're on a date and she asks you what you do for fun. Instead of giving a simple, intriguing answer, you go on a 5-minute rant about your gym routine, your favorite Netflix shows, and that time you almost learned how to surf. She tunes you out because you've turned the conversation into a performance instead of an exchange. Ladies don't want you to wow them with your life story. They want real, relatable moments. Next, men often make the mistake of using generic compliments. They think that saying things like, "You're beautiful," or "You have a great smile," is enough to attract women. But women hear these compliments all the time. They're shallow, predictable, and don't make you stand out. If you want to make a woman feel like you see her, say something like, "I love how passionate you are about your work." These kinds of compliments are more meaningful because they show that you see her as a person, not just how she looks. Finally, focusing on physical attraction over emotional connection is not a good idea. What if most of what you say is about how she looks? She'll see you as just another guy chasing her for superficial reasons. Here's an example. Instead of saying, "You're so hot," say, "I admire how confident you are. It's magnetic." Honor something more important. It's true that these mistakes happen a lot, but they're also, with just 3 simple words, you can cut through the chaos and avoid everyone else. Are you ready to find out what they are? Stay with me as we're just beginning our journey. Now it's time to reveal the 3 words that will change everything when it comes to attracting women. These 3 simple words hold the key to building relationships, trust, and attraction. Here they are. I understand you. So, let's look at why these words work and why they're so powerful. At the heart of every exchange is the need to feel understood for women. For women, this need is especially strong because telling them makes you feel emotionally safe. By saying, I understand, you're showing that you care about her feelings, experiences, and point of view. In contrast to most men, you're telling her she's not alone in her feelings. These 3 words are also the basis of empathy, understanding, and a strong opinion. To show understanding, you have to put yourself in her shoes and see things from her point of view. When you combine validation and emotional intelligence, you create a connection that goes beyond surface-level attraction. Another reason these words work is that they show emotional intelligence. Most men think that showing off their accomplishments or making jokes to win her over is what makes them attractive, but what really sets you apart is your ability to connect on a deeper level. By saying, I understand you, you show her that you're not just focused on yourself, but that you're paying attention to her needs and emotions, which is very rare. Now let's get real. First, when she expresses her frustration about her day at work, instead of offering advice or dismissing her concerns, genuinely listen to her and offer your understanding. That sounds like it was really tough. These words show her right away that you're listening and that you care about how she feels. It's not about solving her problem. It's about recognizing it. Secondly, how you handle disagreements can significantly impact their outcome. It's possible that she's upset because she thinks you haven't been paying attention to her lately. Instead of getting defensive or brushing it off, you could say, I understand, which would completely change the situation. Instead of making things worse, you'd be diffusing the argument with empathy and understanding. 3. If she tells you about a personal goal or dream she's working toward, use these words to show your support. I understand. It's impressive that you're putting so much effort into this. It shows how driven you are. This kind of support and encouragement makes her feel important and cared for, which strengthens the bond between you two. These 3 words may not seem like much, but they have a huge effect. They build trust and emotional closeness that can't be faked. Women want confident men who make them feel understood. When you master the art of saying, I understand you, you'll find that you're not just attracting women, you're making ties that will last. Stay tuned because next we'll talk about how to use these words correctly and avoid common mistakes. I understand that you now possess knowledge of the 3 magic words. Let's discuss proper usage because it's not just what you say but how you say it. The tone, delivery, and meaning underlying your words significantly influence their impact. First, let's talk about tone and delivery. If you say, I understand, in a condescending or robotic way, she'll pick up on it right away and think you're not sincere or even worse, trying to help her. To make these words work, your tone needs to be warm, genuine, and empathetic. Imagine how you'd sound if you were reassuring a friend that you were there for them. The key is to be real, not manipulative. You can't use these words as a trick or a way to win her over if you want to get what you want. She will be able to discern the truth. As you know, women can really tell when someone is lying, so before you say these words, ask yourself, am I really listening? Am I really trying to understand how she feels? If the answer is yes, then your words will come across as genuine. Now it's time to talk about some real-life cases of how to use I understand you. 1. When she talks about her day, let's say she gets home and starts getting frustrated about how stressful work was, she says, my boss dumped me. A big job came at the last minute, leaving me with no time for lunch. Instead of saying, wow, that stinks, I could have, instead of telling her, "Why don't you just talk to your boss?" You say, "I understand how you're feeling over there. That sounds like a really tough day." This shows her that you're not only listening but also understanding how she feels. You're not trying to solve her problem or brush it off. You're validating her feelings, which is exactly what she needs at that moment. Disagreements are a normal part of any relationship, but how you handle them can either strengthen or weaken the connection. For example, if she says, "You always make decisions without asking me first," don't say, "That's not true," or "You're overreacting." Instead say, "I understand you see it differently. I can see how my actions made you feel left out." This response recognizes her point of view without turning the argument into a fight. It lowers the tension and makes room for a productive conversation instead of making things worse. 3. To show support or admiration, say something like, "I understand you put so much effort into this. It's inspiring to see how dedicated you are." This shows that you're paying attention to her efforts and appreciate her hard work, which makes her feel valued. Finally, don't forget how important it is to listen actively and use body language that matches your words when you say, "I understand." Maintain eye contact with her all the time to show that you're paying attention, and keep your body language open and relaxed. If you're staring at your phone or looking distracted, the words lose their power. Using these 3 words well isn't about memorizing a script. It's about making her feel truly seen and heard when you pair them with thoughtful delivery and active listening. You will create a unique connection that is unmistakable. Next, we'll talk about how these words can change certain parts of your relationships and make you the kind of man women can't help but want to be with. Emotional intelligence is the key to attraction. If you really want to master the art of attraction, you need to know one thing. What exactly is emotional intelligence in relationships? It involves understanding her emotional state and responding with empathy. This is the crucial element that distinguishes men who merely capture her attention from those who leave a lasting impression. Not only is it important to hear what she says, but also to understand how she feels. Being emotionally intelligent makes her feel seen, respected, and safe, which is one of the most attractive things you can offer her, because it allows her to relax and connect with you more deeply. But there's good news, because you can learn it. Emotional intelligence is not something you are born with. Here are some useful ways to get better at it. 1. Active hearing. In other words, put down your phone and give her your full attention when she talks. Keep your eyes on her and listen without talking over her. If she can tell that you care, she'll feel an instant bond with you. 2. Don't be quick to give advice or your opinion. Instead, ask open-ended questions that show you're interested in her point of view. For example, "How did that make you feel?" Or "What's been on your mind lately?" These questions show that you're interested in more than just the surface. 3. Be vulnerable in a confident way. Emotional intelligence isn't just knowing how she feels, it's also being honest about your own. Being open about your feelings and thoughts makes it easier to connect with someone. Being sure of yourself enough to be vulnerable is key. When you develop emotional intelligence, those 3 words, "I understand you," become even more important. They're not just words. They show who you are and the connection you're making. Here are some examples of how to use those 3 words in real life. Allow me to bring this to life by describing some real-life situations that show how powerful I know you can be. On a first date, you're sitting next to her at a cozy cafe while she talks about a passion project she's been working on. Instead of nodding off or trying to talk over her, you say, "I understand. That sounds like something you're really passionate about. It's amazing how much work you've put into it." This one line shows that you're not just listening, but really paying attention to what she has to say. It makes you stand out and gives you quick credibility. Scenario 2, you and your partner have an argument. and she says, "I feel like you never prioritize me." Instead of getting angry, you take a deep breath and say, "I understand how you feel. I didn't mean to make you feel unimportant, and I want to work on that." These words will calm her down and show that you're willing to take responsibility and see things from her point of view. Scenario 3. Building deeper intimacy. Imagine she's telling you a deeply personal story about a problem she's been having. She's opening up to you and you respond with, "I understand you. That must have taken so much strength to go through. I really admire you for that." In this moment, you're not only supporting her, you're also building a foundation of trust and intimacy that she'll remember long after the conversation is over. They show that you want to connect, understand, and feel what she feels. And that's what makes you special. Stay tuned, as we will discuss why these words enhance your attractiveness and how to consistently use them to strengthen every relationship. At the heart of it is the fact that women crave emotional connection, which is why these 3 words, "I understand you," make you so alluring. It's not just about physical attraction, it's also about feeling seen, respected, and understood. When a woman feels like you get her, it builds a bond that goes beyond just physical attraction, makes you feel safe, and feeling safe leads to trust, which is a must for any lasting bond. This is what makes you different from most men. While other men focus on flattering her with shallow compliments or bragging about their accomplishments, you're showing emotional intelligence and empathy, which are not only rare but also very attractive. Most men are so focused on what they can get from a woman that they forget how important it is to give her understanding, respect, and a sense of emotional safety. Now let's talk about confidence. Knowing what to say, and more importantly, when to say it, gives you an edge. Being confident doesn't mean being the loudest or taking over the conversation. It means feeling safe enough to listen, connect, and respond in a way that feels real and on purpose. For example, when you say, "I understand you," you're sending a strong message that you're calm, collected, and in charge of both yourself and the connection you're making. That, my friend, is why these words make you confident. A powerful call to action. Practice makes perfect. Now this is where the magic happens. Knowing the words is one thing, using them is quite another. I want to challenge you to put what you've learned into practice. To begin, use the phrase, "I understand you," in everyday conversations with friends, co-workers, or people you're interested in. Pay attention to how people react when you show real understanding and think about what that means to them. Pay attention to how those 3 words can change the mood of a talk and help you connect with others more deeply. The more you do it, the easier it will feel and the more beautiful you'll look to everyone in your life, not just women. Remember that this isn't about quick fixes or easy wins. To really look good, you need to keep growing and becoming the best version of yourself. For the next time you talk to a woman, don't worry about impressing her. Instead, focus on getting to know her and everything else will fall into place. Here's one final piece of straightforward guidance. You can't use tricks or gimmicks to attract someone. You have to make real connections. It all starts with 3 easy words. I get it. If you liked this video, please like, share, and subscribe to Bond Chronicle for more real, useful tips on how to handle relationships and become the best version of yourself. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember that relationships are the key to everything until then.